Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very special guest. If you haven't figured it out already, I'm here with Sofia Tilbury from Charlotte Tilbury.
Hi guys, thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you for coming. We've been planning this for a very long time.
Oh my god, we've been planning this for ages. I'm so happy I'm finally in Hindash's studio.
Yes. As soon as she got to Dubai this time, we needed to get her in the studio, we needed to film. We have literally a Charlotte Tilbury wonderland in my studio. So this is the look that we created today. We've answered a lot of questions that you guys had on Instagram. So it's been a bit of a Q&A. Get ready with Sofia, I guess,
And
me.
Hindash.
Yeah.
It's been so much fun, babe, and honestly, I mean, this makeup look, I'm
You look
obsessed.
amazing. I keep looking over because I'm looking at the viewfinder and I keep staring at her face.
I just keep on staring at myself, not in a big-headed way, but I just can't stop looking. This
So
makeup is
sweet.
amazing.
Oh, so sweet. So if you guys want to know how we recreate this look, keep watching. It is more of a chatty video, so it's going to be really fun. You're going to get to know Sofia more. You're going to get to know... I feel like you guys know me by now, but Timmy's gone into hiding.
Oh, Timmy! Oh my god, I love Timmy. I mean, I
Timmy's
want
the
him in all the
sweetest.
content.
So if you guys don't know, Sofia Tilbury is Charlotte Tilbury's niece, and she's the creative executive of Charlotte Tilbury. She does a lot of the beautiful looks, and she's behind a lot of the products as well, alongside Charlotte Tilbury.
I love Hindash. Charlotte loves Hindash. and
I love
honestly,
Charlotte. All right, guys, we're not gonna blab on for too long. So if you want to know how to do this look, please keep watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you guys think of this look, and I'm gonna leave Sofia's Instagram down below and mine as well. We're gonna post really cool photos of what we've done, so check it out on Instagram as well.
Yay!
Bye. Okay, guys, I'm with the beautiful Sofia, and we have some questions that came in from Instagram. So we're gonna have this very casual get ready with Sofia and me, but not so casual because we're gonna be answering very detailed questions.
We are.
Hopefully.
Can't wait.
Okay, so for our first question, Lee Emily wants to know where and when did we meet?
Okay,
We were
so-
trying to figure out where.
Yeah, I was looking through my Snapchat trying to figure out when we took our first selfie. Almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, right before the store opening in Dubai
Yeah.
Mall.
And then I think we
But
met.
it feels like a very long time
I
ago.
feel like I met you 5 years ago. Yeah, I think we met at a dinner in Nobu, which I think someone had organized with a bunch of us.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But we're here now. Yeah, we've been friends ever
Yeah,
since.
we have.
Yeah, which is
I love
great.
Hindash, by the way,
Oh,
guys.
so sweet. I can't get this open because I put magic cream on my hands. So tell me more about this mask.
Okay, so this mask is the scariest mask you'll ever wear.
I know, I love it.
And this is something I always wear on the plane. Charlotte always wears this on the plane. And honestly, people get freaked out when they're like half asleep and they suddenly wake up and they're like, oh my God. But it's amazing because it's dry.
That's
Yeah.
the first thing that I think of when I think of this mask. It's completely dry, and after you've put it on, it feels like you have a very hydrating serum all over your face.
I love how it like cuts your mouth off so you can only see your teeth. So when you smile, it's like, but yeah, because it's a dry mask, it's a great traveling mask, you know, because if you have a wet mask and you're on a plane, it's a nightmare.
I really dislike wet sheet masks. It's I can't put them on my face. I really can't.
I'm
They
the
drive me
same.
nuts.
And also, it's a really innovative mask. You know, Charlotte really went to some amazing people in Canada who helped create this mask, and they had some amazing ingredients which no one else was using, and it gets down to the third epidermis of your skin.
Oh wow! So
which
it
is-
really penetrates.
Yeah, it really penetrates your skin.
What I love seeing Charlotte do is like she massages
Yeah, she
this-
does.
the mask into the skin, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. But it just looks very relaxing, and I do that on my clients all the time.
Yeah, so do I. Another little trick I like to do is if you have really dehydrated lips,
You go over it, yeah.
and just do that.
That's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
And it's even better than a lip balm.
I'm kind of jealous. I need this. I want to be in your place right now. Okay, so another question is, what is the best skin prep so that makeup looks, well, skin looks plump and hydrated?
Well, obviously, I think Magic Cream is the best moisturizer. It's got things like vitamin A, C, and E in it. It's got hyaluronic acid in it, which really hydrates your skin. And honestly, Charlotte uses this before any makeover. Like, this is the first product she really came out with.
Yeah, so I agree with you. And what I like about it is that depending on how much you put, if you're super dry, you can get very hydrated skin.
Yeah.
Or if you're a bit on the oilier side, you can just dab it on lightly, which is what I like to do. I like to work it in my hands.
Yeah, that's exactly how I like to do it.
And then just rub it in. But yeah, I think definitely skin prep is very important for glowing skin. You want to exfoliate your skin regularly and just have a good beauty routine, skincare routine, and that'll really make a difference in makeup. Giving you a bit of a massage.
Feels great.
Get that blood circulation going. I also like to put cream down the neck.
So do I.
Yeah.
I do that as
I'm just
well.
going to go in a bit. Nothing crazy, just a bit down the neck.
God, I've never had a massage from Hindash before.
Okay, and I'm just going to be using the Magic Eye Rescue as under eye cream. Alright, so for foundation, I'm going to be going in with the Light Wonder foundation, and you mix 4 and 7.
I do.
So these are more yellow toned.
They're more yellow toned, and I'm a 7 in the summer when I'm tanned. And I feel like I really like
7.
that shade, so I like to mix it with a bit of 4.
Do you do kind of like equal quantities or?
Yeah, I do a little bit more than exactly.
You do more?
No, more 7. You've got
more
it
7.
right.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. I do more 7 because I like to be a bit more tanned anyway.
Yeah.
I kind of cheat it.
Yeah, and I like it when it's a bit more tan, and then you go in a bit lighter with the concealer.
Exactly,
yeah.
That's what I like to do.
It's gonna be blending the 2 colors as I go, because I feel like when I blend them all together, it gets all stuck in the brush.
Yeah, this is my everyday foundation. I absolutely love this.
I really do like it because I don't want to say it's like very thin coverage, but it is a light coverage formula, but it lets your skin do its thing, and then you can go in with concealer where you need it.
Exactly.
Which is what I like to do. Okay, so we have a question about what you would do with textured skin.
Okay, so depending on the skin. So if you've got gorgeous natural skin, I would probably use Light Wonder. Not saying I've got that, but like...
No, but I know what she means because, I mean, you could definitely get away with using both, obviously. But it's a preference. You know, it's what you're feeling that day.
I love it because I like to see my natural skin coming through. You know, I don't like to be caked up too much.
Yeah.
I tend to use the concealer in places I really need to cover.
Yeah.
You know, and I've always liked natural makeup, but I think if you've got acne or rosacea, I think that's when you can go with a more full coverage foundation.
I think we have the same view on how to do base.
Yeah,
for sure. It depends on the occasion. It depends on how you're being photographed.
Yeah, exactly.
And under what lighting conditions. And I feel like you can really play around with different products and how you build them up or shear them down. I'm going to put a bit of Enigmatic Edwards on your lips.
Love.
And just let that sink in until we get to lips. Alright, so we've had so many questions on concealer. Under eye creasing, dryness, separating, how to make it work for daytime to night. Yeah. So I think we have a lot to talk about.
The way I use it, I think it really depends on the concealer. Like you just need to find a really good concealer. I find a lot of the concealer is really drying. You know, it took Charlotte 6 years to make this concealer.
That's nice. Okay, so on Sofia, I'm using 7 and 5. So we've unified the skin. I'm not worried about covering whatever needs to be covered. Concealer is what I want to do to highlight your face.
That's what I do as well. So what do you think about concealer?
Concealer is one of my favorite products. It just lifts your face. It wakes you up.
So I was going to ask you how you use concealer, where you place it on the eyes so it doesn't crease.
I mean, it really depends. You have to kind of, if I'm talking to a client, you have to figure out what their issues are. So if they are more prone to a lot of dryness, skin prep is very important. That's where skin prep goes in. And if they are prone to dryness, but they do want to set it with powder because they feel like it creases, then you kind of have to control the amount of powder and the amount of concealer. So it's a bit tricky, but it's not as complicated as it sounds. You kind of have to play around with it day by day, and every time you're putting your makeup on, try to maybe put on a bit more concealer, because I feel like sometimes when you put a bit more, it has the opposite effect. It kind of smooths out much more evenly. Yeah. Which is weird.
I'm quite interested to see where you're placing this concealer, just because it's very like, I love how you're doing it, but I don't do it like this.
You don't do it?
But I'm learning. I'm learning.
I love seeing how people do their own makeup and pick up on different techniques.
Guys, I feel like I'm learning so much right now. You know, you can build habits where you just keep on doing the same thing, and I just keep on doing the same thing.
But it's funny because you never notice it until someone points it out.
Yeah. You use concealer, don't you?
Yeah. I use concealer all the time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Concealer is my favorite. Yeah, it is my favorite product. Concealer and brows, my go-to.
And do you always use 2 different shades of concealer?
2 different shades, yeah. I'm surprisingly more neutral. I always thought I was more on the yellow side, but I realize I'm more neutral, even a bit more peach.
Yeah.
That kind of works for my skin.
What do you think I am?
You do have a yellow undertone.
But I have a bit of redness
But you,
as well.
yeah, so you would get away with peach too. So color corrector is something that I use sparingly. People can tend to go really overboard with color correcting.
Yeah.
So some people definitely do benefit more from corrector. So if you have really dark circles that are more hereditary, and some people have more birthmarks under their eyes that can tend to be really dark. So a color corrector can be your best friend, and to me it falls under the same category as concealer. So
yeah, it's the same.
I love it for sure. So I'm going with my foundation brush again and tapping it in and just building back and forth.
Guys, it's really hard to look at the camera because I just want to see what Hindash is doing so I can learn. Because this is like a lesson.
But she's fully engaged,
yeah.
We promise. And the way that I do concealer is could be a bit different. So I'm doing it more for the camera now. So I wouldn't put as much on you if you were just going out day to day. This is great for photography, for being on camera.
Yeah, I always tend to use more when I'm filming anything because you just need more.
Especially with all the lights too. And you like to tap this concealer in with your fingers too.
See, I like to, like exactly how you're doing. I like to use that blender brush because I feel like it really softens everything and it's smooth. But I also use my fingers. I always tend to use my fingers and brushes and mix it up.
I'd love using my fingers for shimmery eyeshadow too.
Yeah, me too.
I can't do that with a brush. I really can't.
And especially our pops, you know, our pops.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
that's a no way. But I even find with like the more metallic shades, the payoff is much better when you just use your finger.
If I know that method's going to give me a better application, I'm not going to go back to a brush. Okay, so I'm just going to go over the eyelids with a bit of concealer to act as a base.
Ooh. Do you just find that easier when you apply a shadow? Do you like...
Yeah, I feel like things stick better. Yeah.
I never used to do that, and I've just been doing it recently, and I think it's because I saw you do it on one of your videos, then tried it out, and yeah, I feel like it really is amazing as a base.
Yeah.
So since we were talking about color correcting, have you seen our new color correctors?
I've used them, I love them.
Yeah, I'm obsessed. I mean, I like the fact that you've used them as a blusher as well, and for different things. But I'm shade 2 usually. And I love the fact that this is in such cute little packaging. It's almost like the powder. Sometimes I just use this on its own.
All right, so we have a question about powder. How important is setting powder and how much do you apply?
Okay, I think this is an extremely important question. It really depends again on your skin type, if you've got really oily skin, but I really feel like this powder suits everyone.
Would you say it does have coverage? Because I can't pinpoint.
I think it covers a bit. I really do. And I think that the fact that it's got rose wax in it and almond oil means that it's super hydrating at the same time, which I love. And also, I like the fact that you can reapply this. You know?
I agree.
A lot of powders, you put it on and you can't reapply a couple times because it gets really talky.
Yeah.
Whereas with this one, you can reapply it. And I also find you can put concealer on top of it and it doesn't get too patchy. So that's why this powder is great for that.
And this is, of course, the Airbrush Flawless Finish. And I'm using 2 shades. I'm using 2 and 1, mixing them in.
That's what I do. I'm just looking at the way you're powdering. And I think you do it the same way I do.
Is it different? Okay.
Well, what I do is I keep the high points of the face.
You don't mix them in, you do just light.
So what I do is I mix them in and then I use number 1 underneath my eyes.
Yeah, which is what I'm doing now.
To brighten. Yeah, I powder down the T-zone usually. And then I leave all the high points kind of just glowy.
Yeah. I get a lot of comments on my videos. I either completely powder the face or I don't do any powder.
Yeah.
And when I don't do any powder, people get a bit upset.
Yeah, I'm sure over here they're like...
Yeah. No, even like throughout, because my audience is not just in the Middle East.
But why do they get upset? Just because they like a more matte finished look, or they just don't like it
that.
as dewy?
I feel like on camera, because of the studio lights, things look a bit more
greasy.
Yeah, more greasy, more dewy. Whereas in real life, you look very dewy, you look very glowy. And I always try to say that, but yeah. A lot of the times the models that I'm doing the makeup on, they're going out after, so I don't want to just compromise the look.
Yeah.
Okay, so next I'm going to be doing brows, and I'm using Brow Lift in Supermodel. For a red carpet event, base or brows? This is a very...
I love this question. I mean...
I do too. I really do.
Difficult, but on myself, it has to be brows. I don't have that natural full bushy brow, so I like to fill my brows in.
I mean, I disagree slightly because you have great brows.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
I would say brows too. I mean, I was kind of hesitant, but brows for sure. If you're being photographed and the lights are bright, base without brows,
It would just look
wash
weird.
you out a bit. Yeah.
I'm quite interested to see how Hindash does a brow, because I absolutely love Hindash's brows. I think you've got the best brows ever.
Thank you.
Really, Hindash has the best brows. I feel like everyone fills in brows differently. I think you do a great brow.
Thank you.
I like to give myself a brow lift. So like I will like paint in, even if I don't have hairs there, I'll cheat my brow, you know, because I feel like everyone looks better when they're more lifted. I like to cheat my brow, and I always kind of paint mainly here, and then I lift it.
Yeah.
You know, everyone has like ponytails or like tapes as well.
I don't like tapes.
You don't use tapes with makeup?
No. What's the point? I mean, you're not going to walk around with a tape.
I know.
Unless you have...
I agree.
Right.
But I've seen...
It looks beautiful.
But I guess if it's like a beauty shoot and it's like a real close-up and you want the girl's eyes to kind of lift.
Like this, yeah.
Charlotte says brows are the pillars of the face.
I'm obsessed with drawing eyebrows.
Oh my god, Hindash, you are the most amazing artist ever. And that's like, that's one thing I'm obsessed with you, is how you do brows and eyes. Like,
So sweet.
it's like a painting. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I come from a painting background. I'm a painter, so it's really a big passion of mine.
I mean, I painted too.
Did you?
Yeah. I went to art school. I did 12 different art subjects.
Oh, wow.
And my favorite thing was painting. Loved it. But you know what? Our painting's quite different. I mean, no, this is where it's similar. We both did portraiture. Well, you do different things, but you do a lot of eyes and brows and faces.
Yeah, but my paintings, I don't know, you might have not seen a lot of my paintings, but they're full-on portraits.
Yeah, and like, no, I've seen your portraits as well, but I'm not sure if you do other things as well. Mine was more like I got a lot of colors and like kind of splashed them around.
Wasn't very adventurous with the color. I had a black and white palette and that's it. Yeah. No, really, I didn't do color at all.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I feel like you'd be amazing at color because you're like an amazing makeup artist and you're constantly
but I only got
experimenting
into
with
color with makeup.
It's so funny, isn't it?
And it was so funny because when I did start to explore makeup, I really didn't want to post anything because my Instagram was all black and white and I hated the idea of injecting color into it.
Yeah.
So a lot of my photography and makeup would just be in black and white. And people thought they were my paintings, so it was a bit confusing. Yeah, it's a mess.
You were telling me you did Candace's. You did a beautiful picture of Candace.
Yeah, I drew her and she was following me at the time, and that's how I woke up one day and my Instagram was going crazy.
I think I saw her post that on her account.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I found you on Instagram, but I definitely knew about you before we even found out that you were a fan of Charlotte Tilbury makeup. Or you use Charlotte Tilbury makeup. And that's why I was so excited to meet Hindash, I remember, at this dinner.
So cute.
He's coming.
So those are the brows done, and I'm going to set everything with a bit of clear brow gel. This is Legendary Brows. Okay, we're going to move on to eyes, and I'm going to be using my favorite Pillow Talk palette.
It's my favorite too.
I think it's the best one. I really do love it.
You know, I helped Charlotte create that palette. This is like my little baby, not my little baby, but
yeah, but
you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you know, when you help create something and it comes out and you're just like, I can't wait for that product to come out. Also, by the way, guys, I don't think I'm gonna ever be able to do my own brows again. Like, this is insane. Yes. Look how good my brows look right now. They're so good.
And when the eyes are done, it's gonna just all come together.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be taking the kind of the mid-tone pink. I'm going to go into the crease and just blend it in. Kind of work the shape as I'm blending and figure out what I want to do.
I mean, I'm in love with this palette. I feel like the shades are so dreamy and romantic. I love the whole idea of Charlotte's looks and how easy she's made it. So we've got another question. How do you perfect blending eyeshadow?
So I feel like maybe a bit of that base that we did underneath really helps because it kind of creates a blank canvas. But I always like to go in transitional shades and build that up. I really believe in building color up rather than going in with something very intense. And that's what I love about these palettes, is that nothing is very harsh and you can really build them up.
God, Hindash is such an artist, guys. I love hearing this. I'm like soaking it in.
Because I use like a lot of liners and pencils, I get depth from that.
I do exactly what you do. The way I blend is I like to start light. I love the idea of using concealer as a base, and I learned that from you.
Because you can always add, but taking away is very hard.
I've got a question for you. This is for me, guys.
Oh, wow.
This is my question. Do you always start with a matte, or it doesn't matter? Do you shimmer the matte?
I always start with a matte. Sometimes I start with a pencil first. So I kind of always start with a pencil.
I've noticed this with your
so after
channel.
this, I'm probably going to go in with a pencil, and that's how I map out the shape.
So is there a reason why? Is that?
I kind of I map out the eye. And where I want to go with it. And sometimes, if I'm doing the full eye and I have shimmer on, getting a pencil to glide on top of that is kind of a bit annoying. Not really the gliding part, but just blending the shimmer with the pencil.
Yeah.
Whereas if I did it first and then shimmer got over it, it's fine. And then I can build on top of that again.
Yeah. That makes
looks more intense.
Sense.
Yeah. Okay, so before I do that pencil, I'm just gonna add a bit of depth with the darker matte over here. Which is more of like a, how do you describe this color? Like
a peachy brown. It's got a bit of like warmth,
like a teddy bear.
Peach through it.
So this is kind of mapping out where I want that wing to be, slightly. Okay, before I get into liner, we have a really good question. Someone asked, how did you get into becoming a makeup artist? Because your aunt is Charlotte Tilbury, obviously. So how do you navigate all of that? Because obviously you have big shoes to fill.
I feel like I've always had really big shoes to fill, you know, obviously, like, she's my auntie, and you're always going to get people thinking, you know, nepotism, you know, and then you go into a big brand and they're like, you're only here because, I mean, they're not saying it, but you're thinking it. You're only here because your aunt's who she is, you know. But I think Charlotte's really taught me how to feel confident within myself, and you know what, just working with her and learning from her, and she's obviously, you know, an icon, a queen of makeup.
I mean, I never thought that of you. No, not that I would, but I feel like you've kind of positioned yourself in a way that you're a very big part of the brand too.
You know what, that all happened, like, I think, you know, the big moment was coming to Dubai in March. Like, my career, just like, I came here and...
So when you met me, basically. Continue talking, but I'll start doing liner on you.
You can do liner while I'm talking?
Yeah.
Okay, great. You know how Charlotte is. She's like, she didn't want me to just like start from the office and like working with her and already being first assistant. She made me work on counter, and I worked at Selfridges for 2.5 years, and that was a hard job.
So you paid your dues.
Yeah. I praise people who work on the shop floor.
It must be really tough. I mean, you must have had a different perspective on the brand and the customers and the people.
I mean, you know how I got, because I do product development with Charlotte, so I help her create the products.
Pillow talk.
Yeah, exactly. But how I got into it is because I would work on counter, and then Charlotte would be like, so what do the customers want? Like, what are we missing in the brand? Like, what shades are we missing?
Yeah.
And then I would be like, well, we're missing this and this and this. And then she was like, okay, do product development with me, and we could do products together. And I think she realized I was good at color because I was an artist. Yeah. And then I just started getting into it like that with her. And now I'm doing makeup and product development, and that you do the same thing as well. And the nice thing with Charlotte with products is that for her, the ingredients that go into the product is so important. Yeah. You know, she wants to be innovative. She wants to make something different. Anti-aging, like all the liners have anti-aging ingredients in there.
It's a very skincare fueled brand.
Exactly.
Too. I'm encouraging her to talk while I do her liner, but she's scared.
I'm really worried. I'm like,
just go for it.
Yeah. My eyes are quite different. Like, one's way more hooded than the other one, you know, so I'm finding it quite interesting that you can actually do this.
Which is normal. I mean, it's natural. I mean, we can't all be symmetrical. Okay, so I have a rough shape of the liner, and I'm gonna smoke things out with the darker shade. Okay, so name your top 3 Charlotte Tilbury products. I love asking people from a brand to list their favorites.
You know what? This question is so hard because if you look in my makeup bag, you'll literally see like 20 different products. So it's really hard to name 3. I want to name a skincare product because I think it's so important to look after your skin.
Yes.
You know? So I think I have to throw in Magic Cream. I wear that every day. Yeah. Like, that's my everyday product.
Makes sense.
It's got SPF in it as well, which is great, especially for here. And it really does hydrate my skin, and I really notice a difference when I put Magic Cream on. Yeah. My second one, it's really hard because I was talking to someone yesterday about this. I think it's Magic Away Concealer. It took Charlotte so long to come up with a concealer. It's like nothing else on the market. You know, I feel like so many of the concealers right now are so drying. Some of them, you know, they make your under eyes crease. They change color. You know, they oxidize. Yeah. Which I find with a lot of concealers, they really oxidize. And I think my third favorite product from Charlotte Tilbury has to be the powder. That powder is like, I think it's most people's favorite products, to be honest, that the powder. Like, I really see it in everyone's makeup bags and kits. Like, you know, if you see a product in everyone's makeup kits, you know it's good. Like, that's what I realised with watching people on Instagram and using it. But those are my top 3. And I want to add, I just want to go like glowing gel lipstick, hot gossip lip liner. And then I'm just going to say my lip because I have to quickly. I wear hot gossip lip liner every day.
All the time.
And glowing gel is my everyday lipstick. I'm sorry, I've put 5 in there, but I had to just throw that in.
I feel like you can get away with listing 5.
Yeah. What's your 3 favourite? Now I want to hear this.
For skincare, I would always pick the clay mask all the time.
Wow.
Yeah. I feel like I've never tried something like it before. It's a clay, but it feels like it's very moisturizing.
Yeah.
So when I take it off, my pores are tiny and my skin doesn't feel tight. I love it.
And it brightens your skin.
And I love rose. I know like most of the Charlotte Tilbury skincare has a lot of like rose in it and smells like rose. It's one of my favorite scents too.
I feel like you love scents. I went into Hindash's bathroom and it's got like 20 different perfumes lined at the top. It's hilarious. I literally
Those are for the guests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I just do like one perfume, 1 or 2, that's it. And I don't really like to change a lot. Second one, I would have to say the palettes because I've never seen anything like the pop shade.
Yeah.
So for me, doing makeup, there's nothing else that replaces it.
Yeah.
So I always have Charlotte Tilbury palette in my kit for the pop shades.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And for like a complete look. So these, like I could do a full look with this and then I could add and make it even more like complex and more intense. Or I could just build up on the original look.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why I love them. And they're so easy, they're so tiny. They last ages.
And I like this one because it's like an eyeshadow topper.
Yeah.
So like you don't have to use it with those shades. You can use it actually on other shadows, you know, just that colour. And your third?
The lipsticks.
What's your favourite?
Penelope Pink. I love all of them. Bond Girl is one of my favorites. I feel
Me
like
too.
it's a very unique color.
I
And
love
I've talked
Bond
about
Girl.
that so many times. I feel like Bond Girl is a very unique lip color.
Yeah.
And of course Pillow Talk, which is what started this whole collection.
As a makeup artist, is there anything you feel you need to improve on?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you never really stop learning because I mean, think about makeup as trends and fashion that keep evolving and changing and going back and forth. So you definitely have to keep adapting new styles, figure out something new,
Create something new.
Yeah, find ways to keep you excited about makeup.
I constantly feel like I need to improve on things. I mean, not constantly, but I do feel like I'm always trying to learn new techniques, watch different Instagram videos, watch different artists, watch your...
I love that, yeah.
You know, I'm constantly trying to learn things.
Another question is, what do we both admire about each other's style?
That's such a cute question.
Yeah, that's really cute.
I'm obsessed with Hindash. I mean, I wish you guys knew him or have met him. I mean, probably loads of you have met him, but he is the funnest, kindest, most loveliest, warmest person ever.
Cute.
And also makeup wise, I mean, I've been following you for ages. I love everything you do, really. I really do. I love your style of work.
I've been following you for a very long. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like it was very mutual.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
hey.
Yeah.
And then, but I do think there are specific, I think you just make women look really beautiful. You know, you really do. Like, I look at videos that you post and I'm like, ooh, I want to look like that. You know, it's not like some makeup I see and I'm a bit like, that looks really amazing, but it's not what I want to look like. Whereas I feel like with the work you post, I'm like, I want to recreate that. I love that look, you know. But I love the way you do eyes. Like, I think the way you do eyes is just...
I love doing eyes.
It's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Amazing.
I mean, the feeling is completely mutual. I mean, you're gorgeous, you're so sweet, and you are such a beautiful person inside out, just like Charlotte. I mean, I think it just runs in the family. And your passion for makeup and for beauty really does shine through, and it shows. Thank you. And you're very committed and passionate about it.
I am. I mean, so are you.
Your work is beautiful, and you've really paved your own way, for sure. I
think I learned a lot from Charlotte. But the thing is, when you assist someone, you have to you can't copy their style. Yeah. So you've kind of got to make it your own. Yeah. You know, I feel like me and Charlotte, I do similar makeup to Charlotte. It's not the same. Yeah. You can see I've assisted her. I feel like you can always see who you've assisted, you know, because you learn their little tricks.
And now when I think of the Charlotte Tilbury brand, of course, I think of Charlotte Tilbury, but I also really think of you.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Just right alongside Charlotte, for sure.
I think Charlotte is trying to make me into a mini her.
It's working.
She'll be there and she'll be like, okay, so you're the mini me now. And
it's working. So after I've done all the shadow work with the mattes, I'm kind of going in with the shimmer now just to pop that on the center of the lid And when you do that, I feel like it just frames all that shadow work that you've done, and it enhances it because you're adding more light. So the darks look darker and the lights are obviously popping out more. And I'm adding a bit of that shimmer shade just a bit underneath the lower lashes, because when I put mascara, it's really gonna open up the eyes. And I want to go in the pop shade. And the best way to use these is with your finger. I like to go in towards the inner corner, catches the light as you're moving, as you're talking, just flickers.
You know, I always love watching your Instagram stories when you're talking about products. Because you've got a really relaxing voice about you, because I just want to listen to you. And I love your little like side things you say, like literally if you really like something, you're like, love it, or you're like, love.
I have a very dark sense of humor, actually, that not a lot of people know.
Really?
Yeah. But I try.
So do I, so does Charlotte. I think we've all got this little cheeky side to us.
We all do, we really do. But I feel like I have to control it sometimes.
Oh my God, so do I.
Yeah, it's probably going to eventually come out.
Yeah.
Not yet, not anytime soon. Okay, eyes are pretty much done. I'm going to move to Full Fat Lashes, my favorite mascara. And is it your favorite
This is my favorite.
This is my favorite one. I always talk about it. I'm going to start with a bit of mascara, then I'm going to let you take the lead because it's just more comfortable for you.
I agree.
Okay, Sofia, we just got a very cool question. We should answer it together. Eyes first or base first?
I know mine. Do you know, when should we say it? Do you know yours?
I know mine, yeah.
Base. Yeah.
It also depends. I feel like I would do eyes first on like a very, very big day, like a wedding day. I would do eyes
How
first.
come?
I want the skin to be completely flawless. I don't want any fallout.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
I do get it.
Even though sometimes after I do it, there is not barely any fallout, and I just want to be on the safe side.
Do you know what it is? If I'm doing like a really intense smoky eye, then I'll possibly do the eye first.
Yeah.
But if I know I'm going to do a light, gorgeous eye, and I don't feel like there's going to be a lot of fallout, then I'll do base first.
Yeah.
But usually I always start with base.
I've heard that when you do eyes first, you tend to like obsess over some things, whereas when your base is done, you feel like you're already pretty much done with makeup, so everything was more effortless.
Exactly.
Alright, so I'm going to start contouring with the iconic Filmstar Bronze and Glow, one of my favorite products. It should be in my top 5 if you gave me more options. And we have an interesting question. Do you contour differently in the summer or winter? I've never heard that really much.
Me either. I think I do contour slightly differently. I
feel like maybe you'd use a bit more bronzer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I kind of do the thing of like I wash it over my nose and kind of do that really gorgeous natural look, you know?
In the summer.
In the summer.
Yeah.
And then winter, I think I'm more of a contour girl. Where I'm really, you know, everyone gains a bit of weight in the winter and you got to contour a little bit more. You know, that's the truth. And I use the contour ones.
When I heard that, I don't think I've really thought about that. But what you said makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Maybe I definitely do more bronzer.
Yeah.
I do more warmth in the summer. I love nose contour, by the way. And I love to start here, even though your nose is very lifted, by the way.
Thank you.
But I do love good lift.
Yeah, I love a lift. Charlotte loves to contour her nose as well. Loves it.
I really do.
At the beginning when I did makeup, I'd never contour a nose. And she'd be there like, you haven't contoured the nose.
Yeah.
You know? And it's really important, like you said, for like film, camera. It makes a huge difference.
It really does. It really does.
I never contour my nose, but I'm really interested to see what Hindash is doing.
Look, as I'm contouring your nose, I see that you don't really need contouring. I think you benefit a lot more from highlighting the nose. So I'm just shading a bit on the sides, nothing crazy, just with whatever's left on the brush. Okay, now I'm just gonna contour the cheekbones with the Sculpt shade. She doesn't need any, but we're just doing it for fun.
You don't think I need any contour on my cheekbones?
No.
Really?
Yeah, just a bit of blush and you're good to go.
Oh my God, thank you, Hindash.
Yeah.
Hindash not
As
contouring me. I mean, I
As
always...
I'm planning I'm like, you don't need... Like, did 3 times. It's not really just about shaping the face. It's just adding more dimension. You know,
Like
it's not about like making your face look skinny or... It's the dimension that adds... Okay, for blush, I'm going to be using the Glowgasm and Pinkgasm. Do you usually do it straight onto the skin or do you do it at the back of your hand with a brush?
Really, it's totally up to you. You could do it either way.
Yeah.
I think, you know what, it's probably better to do it at the back of the hand rather than doing it on the skin.
Yeah.
I tend to also just do it on the skin.
So pretty.
I can't believe this is the first time you're
First time
using
I'm
it.
using them. So I got these and then I swatched them and everything for Instagram. And see, you told me they were kind of subtle. They're pretty intense. They're great. And I just always think to use them whenever I'm looking at Charlotte's page. I just forget to. Just one of those things.
I think these are one of my favorite products.
And now they're going to have to be in my kit.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. So do these act as a highlighter too?
Yeah. So it's like a highlight blush.
Yeah.
You know, but makes your skin look really dewy.
Yeah.
Fresh. No makeup. Yeah, see look how gorgeous that looks on camera.
Love. Okay, so we have a question. Someone has First Love blush.
Love.
And they are looking for something that's a bit more pink. So what would you recommend?
I recommend either Pillow Talk blush or Love Glow blush. Those
Pillow
are them.
Talk and
So they're like gorgeous pinky blushes. And then I also recommend a lipstick. You want a subtle pink on your cheeks. I would go for a lipstick, and I used JK's Magic, which is one of Charlotte's favourite nudes, as a blush. And it looked gorgeous. So I like to use a lipstick, and I used it at the Stella McCartney show, just for a really natural look. I like using lipsticks as blushes sometimes.
I love a good cream. Yeah, I love a good cream blush. So what I'm going to do is, I like what the blush did on its own. So I'm not going to really overpower it. So maybe I'll do a bit of Pillow Talk, just to add more of that glow on the high points. So kind of going more in the center. So I don't want to change that color too much. Okay, we finally got to lip liner, and I'm going to be using the Lip Cheat and Iconic Nude and Hot Gossip, which is your favorite.
My favorite.
So I'm going to start mapping out the shape with Iconic Nude, and then going over it with Hot Gossip.
Oh, I
and
like
then
that.
I get to see where to go with the lip. And I love these lip liners. I mean, they're very creamy, they last all day, and the colors are beautiful. It's all about the colors. And Hot Gossip is your favorite.
My favorite. I feel like people love it here too.
They do. Okay, so someone wants to know, how would you apply a dark lip?
So lip liner, obviously. Always lip liner, and that's really going to set in your lipstick so it doesn't leak or
feather out.
Yeah, feather out, exactly. So I always use lip liner. And then some lipsticks I love from Charlotte Tilbury that are dark lipsticks are Karina's Love, Night Crimson, Glastonbury. She's got.
Is Love Liberty considered a dark color?
Yes.
I love Love Liberty.
I forgot about Love Liberty.
Love Liberty is like, I think it's like the Charlotte burgundy oxblood branding.
It's
color,
gorgeous, and it's like a darker Walk of Shame kind of.
Yeah, it is. I love it.
What's your tricks?
Lip liner for sure. If I'm doing a liquid lipstick, maybe I'd be adventurous with like going in right away. But I feel like with liquid lipstick, it depends, because it could get more thin in some areas where it's more, so lip liner is always key. Map out the shape, perfect it, and then fill it in with either a cream or a matte lip, whatever formula you like.
So how do you like to create a shape on people's lips?
I mean, I always like to ask what they would usually go for, but I like to keep it, I don't want to say top heavy, but I like the corners to have less, and then just create that heart shape.
I'm the same.
Yeah?
I love doing that.
Do you never wear Iconic Nude?
No. You like it on me?
I think it looks great.
I mean, wow. I love.
Yeah, it's a really good color on you.
Yeah, this looks
And haven't filled it in,
amazing. See, this is why I need Hindash to do my makeup and be like, this is why this product's amazing.
So now I'm mixing Hot Gossip in, and it adds more warmth, I feel. And just, again, gives us more dimension. You never do like a light center, do you? No? That's crazy.
You want to do it?
Of course I want to do it.
I could see your face just being like, I'm going to do it anyway.
I'm going to do it for sure. I can't just do lip liner on its own sometimes, because I feel like I need the lipstick to melt it in and to blend things in. Okay, lip liner done. And for lipstick, I'm going to be going in with the Hot Lips JK Magic. And I want to try to go lighter in the middle. So if this doesn't go light enough, I might mix in another color in. Yeah, I love that.
Gorge.
And just as I get to the lip liner, I'm just going to blend with whatever is left on the brush, because I didn't put a lot. Okay, so that's the lip done. I've mixed Hot Gossip, Iconic Nude, and JK Magic. To finish off the look, I'm just going to add a bit of highlight. What?
No, I'm loving this look.
I thought
I'm just like,
step.
I'm checking myself out.
So down on the center of the nose. Down the cheekbones. Alright guys, this is the final look. But yeah.
Oh my god, I'm obsessed. I just can't believe I just got my makeup done by Hindash.
Can't wait for the photos. Oh my god, you're crazy. We've been planning this for a long time.
We have, but I'm like, you know what? You've done my makeup completely different to how anyone else has ever done it. And Charlotte's done my makeup before as well.
Oh, really? That's so interesting. Because everyone does their makeup differently. So I found that really interesting.
But I'm obsessed. I love the way that you've contoured my eyes. You know, like you've added so much dimension You've added dimension everywhere. Like on the lips, you use 2 different lip liners. You know, on my eyes,
I love mixing.
Yeah, it's like a true artist's work. You know,
so sweet.
I love it, and I love the colors, and I actually like the fact that you've done a nude lip that I usually would go for.
I love the lip you always go for, but I might as well do something different.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But I'm obsessed. Yeah. I love it. I love you.
Love you too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's amazing. I feel gorgeous.